Retro Rewind one-on-one.
Yes, we are one-on-one with Alan White and Chris Squire of the group Yes, Artist of the Month on Retro Rewind. We had a chance last week to sit down with these guys before their show at the SNET Oakdale Theater, and we asked them about how this new album, The Ladder, compares to the one from a couple of years ago.
Open Your Eyes was a great album. It was slightly more commercial, with a view to hitting, younger audiences and stuff like that, whereas some things on The Ladder are aimed at pleasing a lot of Yes fans and getting to the younger audience at the same time. So it's covering more of a variety of people.
We also asked them how their songwriting comes about. Do they, write or cater to a certain audience or group, or do they still write for themselves?
We always write for ourselves first. Actually, it has to, when we perform and write, it has to feel good to us first before it can go any further. And then, so we never sit down with a roadmap and try and say, well, now we're going to aim this at the 14 to 23 demographic.
No, we're pretty selfish in that way because it's got to be good to us before and we never, like Chris says, is sit down and say, that 14-year-old over there, I want him to buy this song kind of thing. It's like we make it feel good for us. And, there's always that in the back of your mind which will appeal to a certain market.
Retro Rewind one-on-one.
Yes, we are one-on-one with Alan White and Chris Squire of Yes, Artist of the Month right here on Retro Rewind. We asked the guys what they thought about the industry these days, about the internet and MP3.
Well, it's getting more intense as we speak, going into the next millennium. I think MP3 is great. I wish I just got shares in it because they're getting huge. And the way you can download anything, right. It in my mind, it sparks a thing. I'm saying to myself, okay, sooner or later the artists are going to be suffering so much that they're not going to have the input to come out because people are just going to, you can buy a couple of CDs now and just burn your own and give them to all your friends. So that's going to affect the industry, I think, and I think it's just going to, somewhere along the line, somebody's got to give a shot in the side here and say, look, what about the guys who are actually making all this stuff? And I think it's going to turn around somewhat in the future, and hopefully it will, because we're just going to be left to be touring forever. That's what's going to happen, that's what's going to be. It's I don't know, somewhere down the line somebody's got to do something, I think.
Yeah. Now, you guys just released your Union Tour CD, or rather VHS in Japan, is that right?
We didn't. If the guy who bought the tour also bought the rights to the release one film shoot of that, and so I haven't even seen it. So I don't know if you have you? No. So you're talking to so you can ask a question, but I didn't.
Yeah, sometimes you do a contract with countries like Japan like that, where they'll buy the rights to shoot one show and be able to show it, and then that gets bootlegged. We're the most bootlegged band in the world, I think. It's like there's just things of ours from all over the place. But watch there's a direct TV thing on at the moment that's pretty good. It was done properly, and I think we were first band in high definition TV to be shot like that. Wow. From Las Vegas, and I think it's shown till the beginning of January or something like that.
And do you guys have anything new coming out on maybe DVD?
Actually, there will be a DVD version of the House of Blues Las Vegas show at some point, probably after DirecTV have had their run with it.
Retro Rewind one-on-one.
Yes, we are one-on-one with Alan White and Chris Squire of the group Yes. Had a chance to sit back with these guys a couple weeks ago and talk about their new album, The Ladder, and some of their other stuff. What do you guys like to do between albums or tours?
In between, the downtime is good because we seem to be working kind of a lot. But we had a couple of months off this summer after the album before we started touring, and I have a family, 16-year-old and a 15-year-old, so I got to spend time with those guys, and they appreciate that, and we had a lot of fun. But we all have hobbies. I have a boat and stuff like that, and each of us have different things we just float off into. I mean, John likes to keep kind of working all the time, and we all do, because I think we all have. I have a studio at home and stuff like that, but at the same time, you got to take some time out for other things. So, but we enjoy it when we come together and work hard.
Sure. Now, speaking as a fan, I know a lot of fans, including myself, don't really get to hear anything from Drama live. I know John Anderson was not doing the lead vocals on that album. Any chance that you guys ever do anything off Drama live?
John always says that he will, he'll happily sing Tempest Fugit one day. He said he really likes the song. He says, he always says at the beginning of every time we go to tour, yeah, let's do that. We haven't done it yet, though.
It's surprising you say that because people like that album a lot, and we got a lot of good reports about it, even though John's not on the album. And it was a good period in our lives because also it was like we said, well, let's go to the studio on Monday, and whoever's at the studio is in the band. And that was the start of Drama because the Buggles were next door recording, and then they hooked up with us, and I think the inspiration of new people at that time just created some really good music.
Sure. And what about Relayer? Any chance we'll hear some of that stuff live?
Well, I've always wanted to play Gates of Delirium on stage for the last 10 years, but if I think Igor's into it now, so maybe he's lobbying. Yeah. But maybe we can do that because some of those tracks are really good, inventive music from the bass and drum section, especially. I thought, and it all sounded great on stage.
Well, one of the songs that I like a lot off of 90125 is Leave It, the harmonies and stuff. Tell us a little bit about the history behind that song, and what about those drum parts?
What drum part? Yeah. No, that was, it obviously the way that song was going in the studio it's just perfect to do with the drum machine, so, I didn't complain too much. I just sit in the wings and sing along with it.
He mimed it well. He mimed it very well live. It was a vocal extravaganza. That was the idea for it. And Trevor Horn, who at that time, he'd been a singer, as you know, on the Drama album, was then producing the album. So it was slightly different from working with any old producer because he'd been in the band. And he used to go backwards and forwards, when we go in the studio on Monday, and he'd go, this has got to be live drums, it's got to be live drums.
Yeah.
Then on Tuesday we go in, it's got to be a drum machine, it's got to be a drum machine. Wednesday, it's got to be live drums. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, Trevor, you're the producer, which way are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And it ended up as a drum machine. But, I don't know. I think it's the only way, as Alan said, you can do that song because it was such a high-tech sounding kind of song, with all. But I think Trevor Rabin and myself did like 96 tracks of vocals each on that.